Okay, I'm going to really quickly, because I know I rambled in my last video, go over about the pain scale being exponential. And this is something I really would like someone at university to listen to me and acknowledge this concept that I've come up with, because I think it's really valid and I think it's really true. And that is that the longer a person has been in CP, the higher their pain scale is. And when I say higher, I don't mean from 1 to 10. What I mean is, and this is going to be really hard to explain, but I'm going to try. I think a pain scale is far more complicated than just a few numbers. I think it's possible that you could make some type of algorithm that's dependent on how long the person has had the condition and how high the condition has been and for how long. And so basically an exponential graph is one that goes up like that. And I think people that have had a low amount of pain are at the bottom of the scale, and, it might go up a little bit, but if they catch it early, it's really easy, for their pain to come back down and for them to kind of get on with normal life. But I think, and in this scale, the bottom line will be time and the vertical line will be the pain scale number. But I think the longer in time that you have a high amount of pain, it's almost like a 9 becomes a hyper 9. So someone else that hasn't had pain for a very long time might say, like, their scale might go up like this, and their 9 might be up here, but only after 3 or 4 months. But because they haven't been in pain for a very long time, if their pain goes down, it's really easy for their nervous system and their brain to recover. But if you've been, experiencing CP for years and your scale is like out here or out here, I think it's a lot harder for the nervous system and the brain to recover. And I think that's a really key point for people that are doctors or medical community to really grasp onto and prioritize when it comes to avoiding this health condition, because it's all about early intervention. And I know so many people that have had an early intervention, and I think it's key within the first 3 or 4 months. Anything beyond a year, I think it's extremely difficult. And anything beyond a year, your 7 or 9 then becomes like a hyper 7 and 9. And not only that, it becomes so much harder to recover. And so you're like in a permanent 7 and 9, where you just never escape your 7 and 9 all day, every day, and you wake up with a 7 and 9. And it just feels so impossible to get any type of improvement, and it's so incredibly difficult and slow, and some people never get over these conditions. Some people never get better, and they're stuck with their 6 and 7s for the whole of their life. And I feel, that's where I was at, and it's just a horrible thing for someone to go through and live with. So really, I hope that kind of helps people who do have CP to understand perhaps why their pain isn't recovering and why they're having such a hard time, because I really feel like the recovery is dependent on how long you've had it and how long you've had such high levels of it. And I hope people in the scientific and medical community can understand this mathematical concept, because it is a mathematical concept. And I really think it's something that should be documented in science journals, this graph, so people can understand. If someone comes in and they say, I'm in 7 to 9 out of 10 pain, and this person looks at you like you're just over-exaggerating, they should really have a second think, because it's not just relative to how much, someone's pain scale is on one day. It's really relative to how long this person has been in that level, of pain, and to take it seriously. I mean, it's not funny when someone comes in and they say, I'm in 7 to 9, out of 10 pain, and you get laughed at, or someone looks at you like you're lying, or that you're over-exaggerating, or that you're looking for attention, or some stupid whatever thing they're thinking in their head, or that you're not clever enough to judge your own pain scale, which I find to be the most insulting thing, which I think is sadly what a lot of medical practitioners and psychologists think. I like to think that people have a realistic understanding of what their pain scale is, but like I said, I think it really is affected a lot by how long someone's been in that state. And if someone's saying they've been in that state for over a year, constantly every day, to really take that 7 to 9 seriously, because I think they're being honest and they're telling the truth, and that is a really serious issue. Like, that is that's like torture. That's going into a war camp and being a prisoner for a year, and someone putting you through constant physical high levels of pain every moment, and then not getting sleep and having mental torture in between. That is the equivalent of being, in a prison camp and being tortured for a year. And that includes post-traumatic stress as a side effect. It includes so many other things. I mean, gosh, I could get really upset about it, but I won't. But I really think, like I said, if we can think about it this way, I think the medical community should really take these numbers more seriously and consider, like I said, that it's exponential. And people that have had these conditions for a really long time, if they're saying 7 to 9 out of 10, to please take it seriously, because that's probably even worse than a normal person's 9 out of 10. And that should really be prioritized as being real. And I hope this makes sense. Okay, bye.